So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. हजुरहरुले अहिलेसम्म लाइक शेयर सब्स्क्राइब गर्नु भएको छैन अनि लाइक शेयर सब्स्क्राइब गर्न नभुल्नु होला। आज चाहिँ हामी 2081 मा सोधिएको सफ्टवेयर इन्जिनियरिङ क्वेशन लिएर आएको छु र यो प्लेलिस्ट पनि म बन्दै जाने छ, हजुरहरुले हेर्दै जानु होला। यदि फुल 2081 को सोलुसनको कम्प्लिट सोलुसन रहनेछ, हजुरहरुले यो हेर्न सक्नुहुनेछ है। सो आज चाहिँ ढिला नगरी सुरु गर्न गइरहेको छु र सेक्सन ए मा सोधिएको छ हाम्रो सफ्टवेयर इन्जिनियरिङमा दुईटा क्वेशन सोधिनेछ अथवा दुईटा क्वेशन गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ। हजुरहरुले तीनटा चाहिँ हामीले एउटा अप्सनमा सोधिनेछ र एउटा सुरुमा सोधेको क्वेशन हेर्न सक्नुहुनेछ। हजुरहरुले एक्सप्लेन द इम्पोर्टेन्स अफ सफ्टवेयर प्राइसिङ एज अ हाइलाइट कोकोमो कस्ट मोडलिङ टेक्निक भनेको छ, लिस्ट इट्स डिसएडभान्टेज भनेको छ है। सो सफ्टवेयर प्राइस भनेको एउटा सिग्निफिकेन्ट हैन, इज सिग्निफिकेन्ट फर द फलोइङ रिजन्स भनेको छ। एउटा भनेको म्याक्सिमाइज रेभेन्यू, द अमाउन्ट अफ द मनी अ बिजनेस क्यान मेक इट डाइरेक्टली इम्प्याक्टेड बाइ द कस्ट अफ द सफ्टवेयर भनिएको छ। अर्को भनेको इम्पोर्टेन्स रहेको छ एडप्ट टु कम्पिटिसन, अनि अर्को भनेको सस्टेन बिजनेस, टार्गेट स्पेसिफिक अडियन्स एन्ड कम्पिटेटिभ एडभान्टेज रहनेछ है। सो अब हामी कोकोमो भन्ने एउटा छ, त्यसलाई कन्स्ट्रक्टिभ कस्ट मोडल भनिन्छ, जुन त्यो एउटा टेक्निक हो, त्यसलाई हाइलाइट गर्नेछु। ओके, सो कोकोमो भनेको जुन कन्स्ट्रक्टिभ कस्ट मोडल भनेको एउटा वाइडली युज्ड सफ्टवेयर कस्ट एस्टिमेसन मोडल हो, डेभलप बाई ब्यारी बोहेम in the late 1970s and later extended and refined. Kokomo provides a framework for estimating the effort, time and resources required to develop a software project based on the various factors such as project size, complexity and development environment. Kokomo is based on empirical data collected from numerous software projects and has evolved into the several versions to accommodate different development environments and project characteristics. र यसको कोकोमो को भइसकेपछि हामीले अलिकति हल्का हाइलाइट गरेको छौं। त्यो मध्ये रहनेछ 3 मेन भर्जन्स अफ कोकोमो मोडल। एउटा बेसिक कोकोमो भनेको त्यो एउटा ओरिजिनल भर्जन हो अफ द मोडल एन्ड इज प्राइमरली युज्ड टु फर अर्ली स्टेज रफ एस्टिमेट्स अफ द प्रोजेक्ट. It estimates development efforts as a functions of the project size measured in the lines of the code LOC. अनि formula रहेको छ effort E is equals to A asterisk KLOC to the power B, where E भनेको effort required to develop the software project रहनेछ भने KLOC भनेको त्यही estimated size of the software project रहनेछ in thousands of the lines of the code है, जुनमा A and B are the constants derived from the historical data and dependent on the project type and development environment है. So intermediate Kokomo COMO Kokomo 2 जुन they extend the basic model by incorporating additional factors that influence software development effort and the cost भनिएको छ भने अर्को it introduce different cost drivers that affect the overall project's effort including the product, platform, personal, project and the process attribute. These cost drivers are categorized into various factors such as product complexity, development environment, team experience and the project constraint. इसको formula रहेको छ is more complex than the basic Kokomo and account for these additional factors. अर्को भनेको डिटेल कोकोमो जुन कोकोमो 3 भनिन्छ. डिटेल कोकोमो is the most comprehensive version of the model and provides a detailed breakdown of the efforts estimation by considering individual software development activities and phases. It takes into account factors such as software requirements, design, implementation, testing and maintenance. Detailed Kokomo allows for a more refined and grand estimation of the efforts and the resources based on the specific project characteristics and development methodologies. यसको disadvantage रहेको छ कोकोमोको भन्दाखेरि it requires accurate estimation of the project size and other input parameters which may be challenging especially for the large and the complex projects, and assumes a linear relationship between the project size and the effort which may not always hold true in the practice. Does not consider factors such as dynamics, team dynamics, or the organizational culture and the external dependencies which can significantly impact project outcomes, may not be suitable for the project using modern development approaches such as agile or iterative methodologies, as it is based on the traditional waterfall development models. Okay, then what do you understand by software process model भनेको छ र एक्सप्लेन डिफरेन्ट सफ्टवेयर प्रोसेस एक्टिभिटीज भनेको छ है. सो सफ्टवेयर प्रोसेस मोडल भनेको चाहिँ एउटा स्ट्रक्चर्ड approach हो हैन, used to guide and manage the software development process, and it defines a set of activities, phases and deliverables that need to be accomplished to successfully develop and deliver software भनेको छ. र यसको टाइप्स हेर्न सक्नुहुनेछ है, जुन चाहिँ डिफरेन्ट सफ्टवेयर प्रोसेस एक्टिभिटीज रहेको छ. अनि त्यो भनेको त्यो सफ्टवेयर स्पेसिफिकेसन, सफ्टवेयर डेभलपमेन्ट है, सफ्टवेयर भ्यालिडेसन, हजुरले यहाँ रुकाएर हेर्नुलाई एकछिन, सफ्टवेयर इभोल्युसन रहेको छ. सो त्यसपछि हामीले यहाँ हेर्न सक्नुहुनेछ चार्टर रहेको छ. र त्यसपछि हामी अब आउनेछौँ सेक्सन बी मा, जुनमा रहेको छ attempt and 8 questions. हजुरले 8 क्वेशन एटेम्प्ट गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ. र फर्स्ट क्वेशन रहेको छ हाउ रिस्क म्यानेजमेन्ट इज क्यारिड आउट ड्युरिङ सफ्टवेयर डेभलपमेन्ट भनेको छ है. रिस्क म्यानेजमेन्ट प्रोसेस इज एन iterative process which continues throughout the project as new insights are gained and situations as mentioned. And risk management can be carried out during software development by the following process. एउटा भनेको हजुरहरुले रिस्क म्यानेजमेन्ट एनालाइसिस जुन प्रोसेस हुन्छ त्यसमा चाहिँ के हुन्छ, रिस्क आइडेन्टिफिकेसन हुन्छ, त्यसपछि रिस्क एनालाइसिस गरिन्छ, रिस्क प्लानिङ गरिन्छ, त्यसपछि रिस्क मोनिटरिङ गरिन्छ, फेरि मोनिटरिङ गरेपछि फेरि एनालाइसिस गरिन्छ. यसरी हाम्रो रिस्क म्यानेजमेन्ट प्रोसेस चल्ने गर्छ. अब रिस्क आइडेन्टिफिकेसन भनेको एउटा फर्स्ट स्टेज हो जुन रिस्क म्यानेजमेन्टको हैन. It is concerned with detecting all possible risks to the project as a common proportion of the risks भनेको छ. र अर्को भनेको रिस्क एनालाइसिस रहेको छ. रिस्क एनालाइसिस भनेको चाहिँ all identified risks are examined and is a background document containing such as the probability of the risk occurrence and on its impact on the project. The probability may be as high as very high, moderate, low and very low. Risks are tabulated notes according to the standards of the risks भनेको छ. अर्को भनेको risk planning रहेको छ. It is the process of consideration of the by risks that have been identified and formulation of the strategies to manage the risks so as to minimize the effects of the risk changes. अर्को भनेको avoidance strategies जुनमा चाहिँ avoid गरिन्छ occurrence of the risks, and mitigation strategies manage risk reductions by using risks, contingency plans, backup plan भनिन्छ of the risks to be ready to deal with. अनि अर्को भनेको रिस्क मोनिटरिङ. रिस्क मोनिटरिङ मा चाहिँ एउटा ट्र्याक गरिन्छ and monitor the occurrence of the identified risks. Monitoring requires a regularly recurring review as of the possible and the probable effect on the risk change. Risk management भनेको the process of the planning, organizing, directing and controlling human resources is called people management, and it also encompasses financial, technological and societal resources used to meet human needs. And management includes all the activities, structural and human relations, right? So financial, because software maintenance is one of the most important activity भनेको छ. justify गर्नु statement with an example. So software maintenance भनेको essential हो because it guarantees that the program will continue to be useful, effective and current throughout the time. In order to resolve security flaws, enhance performance, correct problems or adjust to shifting user demands and circumstances, software frequently needs update after launch. It performs following tasks. Frequent maintenance helps find and fix issues, avoiding data losses and system breakdowns, updates for the software fix box and defend against online attacks. In order to enhance user experience or adjust to shifting business requirements, maintenance may entail introducing new features. Older software systems should be maintained to guarantee their compatibility and continuous functioning. For example, consider a bank app after deployment. Regular upgrades are necessary for and address problems like inaccurate transaction records, add functionality like accepting more payment methods. अनि अर्को हुनेछ हाम्रो हजुरहरुले हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ increase security to protect against emerging threats on the internet, check to make sure its functions will be updated, hardware or operating systems. software maintenance is a continuous process that needs constant attention to be dependable, secure, and in line with the business requirements. Hence, maintaining software is crucial to keeping systems operating smoothly and effectively, and we can say that software maintenance is one of the most important activity. Okay, then also the difference between verification and validation. Verification it includes checking documents, design codes, and the programs. Validation validate it includes testing and validating the actual products. Verification static testing validation dynamic testing it does not include the execution of the code it includes the execution of the code. It checks whether the software conforms to specification or not. It checks whether the software meets the requirements and expectations of the customer or not. You can find the box in the early stage of the development, but it can only find the box that could not be found by verification. And its goal is application software architecture and specification. Its goal is an actual product, and it comes before validation and it comes after verification. Software inspection so software inspection a control technique for ensuring that the document produced during a given phase remains consistent with the documentation of the previous phases and respects reestablished rules and standards. This involves people examining the source representation with the aim of discovering anomalies and defects. The aim of the inspection is to locate faults, and the process should be driven by a fault checklist. About inspection process planning overview, individual preparation, inspection meetings, rework, follow-up, etc. So questions what do you understand by design patterns? So what roles does it have in object oriented design? So design patterns a typical solution to common problems in a software design. So each pattern is like a blueprint that we can customize to solve a particular design problem in our code. Patterns are the toolkit of solutions to common problems in software designs. They define a common language that helps our team to communicate more efficiently, and patterns are formalized best practices that the programmer can solve to solve common problems when designing an application or a systems. Design patterns can speed up the development process by providing tested, proven development paradigms. Reusing design patterns helps to prevent issues that can cause major problems and improves code readability for the coders and architects familiar with the pattern. Role design role design patterns of the object oriented programming pattern communication, increase flexibility, decrease complexity, more reusability, and improve code structure. So त्यसपछि हाम्रो अर्को क्वेशन सोधेको छ differentiate between structural and behavioral models भनेको छ. So structural or behavior मा के छ the difference भनेर हेर्न सक्नुहुनेछ. Focus on representing the static structures of the composition of the systems including its components, relationship and configuration. अब behavioral मा के हुन्छ, focus on representing the dynamic behavior or functionality of a systems including its actions, states, transitions and interactions over time. Describe the time systems physical or logical structure without considering its dynamic behavior. They typically represent components, classes, interfaces and relationship. Describe how the system responds to stimuli, events and interaction over time. They capture the system's behavior under various conditions including sequences of actions, states and transactions. Often represented using diagrams such as class diagram, component diagram, package diagrams and deployment diagram. Often represented using diagrams such as use case diagrams, sequence diagrams, state machine diagrams and activity diagrams, used to visualize and analyze the architecture, organization and interconnection of the system components. They have been understanding and system architectures, identifying components and analyzing their interactions. Used to specify, simulate and analyze the dynamic aspects of the system's operations. They help in specifying requirements, simulating system behavior and validating system functionality. अब last रहेको छ difference between typically do not consider the temporal aspects of the system behavior. They focus on the system static configuration at a particular point of time, and captures the temporal aspects of the system behavior representing how the system actions and the interactions unfold over time. They describe sequences of these events, states and transitions that occurs during the system operation. The importance of behavioral model भनेको छ developers and stakeholders may better comprehend how a system responds in various scenarios by using behavioral models, and this model facilitates the communication of a complex system behaviors and interaction by acting as a common language for technical teams, stakeholders and non-technical users. It can assist in forecasting the system's performance in a variety of scenarios, including heavy loads using interactions and modification to the input data. Numerous parts and interactions are common in complex systems. By concentrating on important behaviors and their connections, behavioral models aids in decomposing and streamlining system analysis. The system may be tested using behavioral models to make sure it operates as intended. These models may be used to create test cases that verify the model system satisfies functional and non-functional. Our question सोधेको छ briefly explain on the requirements of engineering process भनेको छ. Requirements of engineering process भनेको त एउटा process हो हैन, जुनमा that involves all the activities required to create and maintain a system requirement document to ensure that the problem that is being stated is clear and complete, and to ensure that the solution is correct, responsible and effective. This process used for requirement engineering varies widely depending on the application domain, the people involved and the organization developing the requirement, and however some common process includes feasibility study, requirement allocation and analysis, and then requirement specification, requirement validation and requirement change management. That's all. Okay, then what are the principles of agile development भनेको छ. Agile development को techniques पनि लेख्नु भनेको छ. So in the software development methodology, which is founded on incremental and iterative development, requirements and solutions are developed through cooperations among cross-functional self-organizing teams. Its primary goal was to assist developer in creating projects that could swiftly adjust to changing requirements. It was therefore created to facilitate quick and simple project completion. Now, agile development principles भनेको एउटा रहेको छ हाम्रो कस्टमर इन्भल्भमेन्ट हुनु पर्यो, incremental delivery हुनु पर्यो, अर्को भनेको people not process, embrace change अनि maintain simplicity. Scrum is an agile development techniques for project management that uses sprints, which are iterative cycles that usually run 1 to 4 weeks. It places an emphasis on teamwork and adaptability in the face of change. The product owner sets priorities for the work, the Scrum Master supports the process, and the development team produces the final product. These are important positions in Scrum. So Scrum makes use of artifacts like sprint backlog, which consists of the tasks for the current sprint. So the product backlog, which is prioritized list of the features, and increment, which is the finished work at the conclusion of a sprint. Frequent meetings such as sprint reviews, daily stand-ups, and retrospectives aid in ensuring ongoing development and alignment with project objectives. Thank you. That's all for today. Signing off.